Alright. So, now is as good a time as any to do the horror game tier list that we have had going. So this will just be the games that we played in the horror month. Right? So this music's a little I mean, it's safe for streams, but it's not great. Here, let me swap to a different song. Get out of here. Yeah. Alright. Alright, let us go. So, we played like how many games? 20, 26, 20, 27, 28, something like that. Yeah, 28 games. Jeez. That's crazy. In 1 month we played 20. Granted, we didn't finish them all. So there is that. But we still played quite a few games. So let's start from the start. Miss Trick. Miss Trick. That was the game where... Oh, that was the double game. We should probably talk about the first one in that series then. Which was... Where is it? Miss Fiction. Miss Fiction was the one where you were a guy who got kidnapped by a rich guy, and then your friend helped you break out. It was an RPG Maker game, and it was pretty much a bog standard game. Not great, not terrible, but the mapping was pretty... Yeah, the maps were kind of bland. So, you know what? I'm going to put that in a C. It's not the worst game we played, but it's by far away from the best. Miss Trick, however, was the sequel to that, wherein we play the rich guy having died and being taken to this other world where this guy who was in love with him sort of trapped him there, and you had a bunch of things to do and interacting with people, and a few different endings. Not the best game, but definitely better than Miss Fiction. So I'm gonna give that a B. It was decent. It was decent. The dev had definitely learned a bit more about how to use the engine, made their own graphics and stuff like that, so its presentation was much better. It was still a bit tricky in some areas, but it was short, sweet, and it felt good. Fear and Hunger. This is one of those games that is... You've got to play it multiple times in order to get through it. It's a very harsh and unforgiving game. I'm not usually a fan of those kinds of games. The presentation was great though. Like, stellar presentation. The graphics, the sound, the atmosphere, really cool. And I like the idea that you could choose your character and sort of like your choices mattered in your stats, your starting money and items and stuff like that. It was a bit hard. Not really my fare. It wasn't really scary as much as it was tense. So I'm gonna give it a B, but I'm gonna rate it higher than Miss Trick. Maybe a low A, actually. I did really like it, and I thought the presentation was just bang on. Just really good. Kuon. I liked Kuon. I played a fair bit of it too. We first played with one character, and then we died, and so we switched to the other character. And we got a lot further in the game with the other character, once we figured out how to play and stuff. You went to a mansion. You played either an exorcist or this girl looking for her family. Or her father? Or master? And there were demons all over. And towards the end, I was getting a bit light on items. And it was tense. It was very tense. But I really liked it for what an old game it was. I kind of wanted to play more of it. So, because I liked it enough to want to play more, I'm this may be controversial, but I'm giving it more than Fear and Hunger. Resident Evil 4. Sorry. Unplayable for me. I'm sorry. It just was. I got physically ill playing it. I was looking forward to playing. I couldn't play it. I just couldn't. You know what? Yeah, no, never mind. Silent Hill. Origins. This is Origins. This may be a little controversial. I can't say I liked it that much. I got through the hospital. It was scary though. It was scary. Oof. That feels about right. That feels... between these two. I know. Yeah. Yeah, that feels about right. Clock Tower 3. Okay. Hear me out. It was a bit ridiculous, but I really liked it. I liked the going back in time. I liked dodging around the enemy. I liked trying to figure out the mystery behind the back in time thing, where the storyline and what happened. I really liked it. I actually really wanted to play more of it, but because it was up to vote and you guys didn't vote for it, we didn't get to play more, but I might play more of that of my own accord at some point. I liked it a lot. The ending with Ronald Weasley coming through the window was a bit weird, and I would have liked to have seen where that went, but you know what? What we played of it, I liked. Even if I did get a game over at 1 point, or 2 points, a couple of points. Parasite Eve. I'm enjoying my playthrough. It's a little frustrating at times, especially at the current point of time. But I'm gonna put it. Oh, it's hard to judge because I've definitely played more of it than Clock Tower. So it's hard to say. Like, I like it, but do I like it more than the premise of Clock Tower? I'm gonna put it there. I'm betting on Clock Tower being better. And more up my alley. More enjoyable for me. Personally. But I liked it more than Kuon. I might change. We'll see. Blackout. That was the witch game. Oh, Persona, Parasite Eve, if you don't know, you play as a police officer who goes around and has to deal with some bitch named Eve, who is turning everyone into jelly. It's great. Blackout was a game where you break into a house pretending to be a witch, and then you go through all these ghastly, ghouly things. It was a point-and-click adventure. We did get stuck at one point and have to look to a guide. It was pretty good. I'm gonna rate it above Silent Hill. In fact, I'm gonna rate it above Mistrick, because I actually liked it a lot more than Mistrick. Mistrick, please. I can't say it was better than Fear and Hunger, but it was better than Mistrick. Flesh, Blood and Concrete. It's definitely a C tier game. It was okay. You crash your car, you meet this girl, she keeps you in this place forever, and then you turn out that time passed a lot while you were in there and she trapped you basically. It was okay. Bad Parenting. Controversial take. Controversial. The take is controversial. I'm sorry. I like the story of it a lot. But the presentation wasn't great. You know what? We'll bump it down. We'll bump it down just a little bit. Jesus. We'll bump it down a little bit more. Like blacked out a bit more. I mean, feel free to chime in how you guys felt about this shit too. Bad parenting, you are a child who Mr. Redface is coming to get you. And then there was a twist at the end which was like, oh fuck, no, I did like it better than Blackout. I'm sorry, the storyline, the twist. You have no memory? That's okay. I'll remember for both of us. The plot twist was that, block your ears if you don't want to know, the dad actually killed the kid and hid him in the wardrobe. And then the mum came home and found the kid's dead body. Yeah, and you were playing as the kid the whole time. So you end up playing as, like, halfway through the game, the dad does that to you. Sweet Home. Sweet Home, I actually really enjoyed what I played of it. And we will be playing more of that, because it was one of the ones that was voted for. And I'm glad, because I like Sweet Home so far. It's very SNES, or Famicom, or whatever it is. But it's also really kind of cool for what it is. I can see why people like it. You can barely... Okay, let me turn the music down. Get out of here, music. How's that? That better? That should be better. If not, I'll turn it much down. I didn't... Oh. Oh, I had it turned down in my ears, that's why. Give me 1 sec. You know what I'll do? There we go. Wait. There we go. That right? Yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, cool. Yeah, I really like Sweet Home, what we played of it so far. I'm looking forward to playing more. I love the fact that I got to name my characters after the Yakuza gang. It just makes it more fun. So, I'm actually going to do this. Yeah. Yeah, I liked Fear and Hunger. I can't lower Fear and Hunger because it is really well done graphically and everything. Like, atmosphere and that. I didn't like the game, but graphically and that, I can't put it any lower than an A, because it's really good. But, I liked Sweet Home a lot so far. It just hits that old retro vibe of fun. Okay. Yes, yeah, that's true. It was a technical issues one. I did cut a lot for the YouTube video. The YouTube video was pretty short. Yeah, I did. I did end up getting, decently into it. I think. I'm not 100% sure. We'll find out next time we play it. Okay, Haunting Grounds. Haunting Grounds. That was the one with the girl running around almost naked in a sheet. And she got kidnapped by some guy. That's the one with the wood sculpture. The pregnant sculpture. You remember that one, right? Tell me you remember that. That was creepy as fuck. Yeah, that was a creepy one. So this guy kidnapped this girl from a car crash to help her, and then he locked her in his crazy castle, and basically when they met, he was like, yeah, you're gonna be my waifu. By the way, I made a sculpture of you, and she's pregnant. I was like, the fuck? It was creepy. It's decent, but I don't know. There was a lot of running around trying to figure out where to go. You remember the sculpture now? Yeah. I think I'm gonna put it here. Yeah. Oh my god. The first tank controls game. Fuck you, Curse. Okay, that's not fair. No, actually, that's very fair. It's not unplayable, The Eye of Isis wasn't unplayable, but it was certainly... You know what? I wanted to see more of Horror Grounds because I thought we could find somewhere that's cool. But, yeah. This fucking game. Could you teach me how to do anything in the game? No, of course not. Of course not. And tank controls. Fucking. No, thank you. Alright. Fuck that game. You know what? No, it's barely playable. It's allowed to be playable. Unplayable is this shit. Okay. The Red Wedding. You remember the Red Wedding? The Red Wedding was... Or Married in Red, that's the name of it. Married in Red was the one where it was a visual novel. You went to the wedding and you had to figure out how to murder the groom and pin it on the bride. I thought that was a good one. I'm actually... You know what? Yeah, that feels good to me. That feels like a good spot. It was... Yeah, it was good. It was a good one. I like that one. It was such a good little game. Once you understood what you were meant to do, that was good. Slender. You'd put it at S tier? I really like Bad Parenting. I wouldn't put it at S tier, but I might be convinced to bump it up to at least A tier. You know what? Let's do this. Sorry, Fear and Hunger. That feels good to me. What's that one again? Clock Tower. I don't feel like Clock Tower deserves an S though. And I don't think... Yeah, I don't feel like any of these really deserve an S. This one was good. I'll give it at least an A tier. Slender. I mean, it's aged a lot. Well, the thing was, I can't deny that Fear and Hunger had a lot of really good presentation. I can't deny that the presentation of Fear and Hunger was really good. The presentation, the audio, it was really well done. So I can't really give it a bad score, objectively speaking, because it had a lot going for it. It's just not my personal cup of tea. And this is sort of like a mix of my own bias and sort of objectivity. If we're being honestly objective, it would probably be a high A. It's got a little bit of my bias mixed in though. Slender. Slender's a classic. It's janky, it's old, it's kind of shit, but it is a classic for a reason. It spawned so many games, but I'm not really a big fan of it, so I'm fine putting it here. Above Slender Hill. I mean, Silent Hill. Slender Hill! Above Silent Hill. Castlevania. Oh, Castlevania I liked. Quite a bit. Did I like it more than Fear and Hunger? Yeah, I did. It's a high B. It's a high B for me. Sorry, Fear and Hunger. You just keep going down the ranks. Galarians. Literally unplayable. Fuck out of here. I mean, I did manage to play some of it, right? But I didn't like it that much. So I'm just, yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, we found our first S tier. For those who don't know, Galarians, tank controls, and hate. All my hate. The first S tier is If on a Winter's Night for Travelers. I'm sorry, give me 1 sec. I'm going to close my door. I thought it was safe to unclose my door. People talking too loud. Fucking assholes. We may just not like the same things as other people. Okay, where were we? I double locked the doors out. Yeah, If on a Winter's Night for Travelers, that was the one with the 4 stories. The high production. I cried during one of the stories. That's the one with Mr. Fluffykins. Or whatever his name was. The cat. Yeah, that was so good. That was such a good game. God, if you haven't played that game, go fucking get it and play it. It's so good. Alright. Next up, Glass Rose. This might be controversial. I kind of liked it. You know what? I feel happy with that. I kind of liked it. It was very story heavy. But I liked it. I was getting invested in the story. Okay. This is probably a very controversial take. Yeah. Yeah. It was just so good. It was just such a good game. It was high quality. The music and sound was really good. The sound design in that. This is If on a Winter's Night for Travelers. The writing was so well done. And it had enough gameplay, even if it was simple gameplay, that you didn't feel like you were just reading words all the time. It was so good. And the stories were great. It's based on, If on a Winter's Night, a Traveller, or something, a poem series, a book series, a novel, a short novella. Alright, this is controversial. Lifeline. I really liked Lifeline. I really liked Lifeline. I like the idea of it. I like the thought of it. I like the idea of the gameplay. The Australian accent makes it unplayable. It's so sad. It's so sad. Because I really enjoyed that game. I really did. I love the idea of it. And I wish they'd remake it. Remake it with, like, different, you know, different voice abilities. Being able to be voiced by Australian as well as others. Lifeline was a game where you end up in a space station and the main character is yourself and you are actually using your microphone to direct the character that you're playing. So you get this girl that you direct to do stuff for you. So you yourself are a character who's directing her to do stuff by telling her to do stuff, literally telling her. Like, go check the lockers. Except because I'm fucking Australian, I could shout lockers, lockers, lockers all day and she'd go out into the hallway and then have a 20-second loading screen to get back into the room to check the lockers again when she'd just walk out again. I'd say bed and she'd go to the bathroom. It's sad. Oh, okay, so this is where stomach spawned from. Me yelling stomach. Stomach, 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 stomach. There's clips. There's clips. And it's so sad because the premise is so good. Being able to tell your character what to do with your voice. Just say, you know, go check this thing, go fight that thing. It's sad. I reckon they could do it really well nowadays, but it was a PS2 game? And they weren't quite up on the technology then. I reckon if they tried it again, they could do a great job. Next on the list, Fatal Frame. This might be controversial. I really liked Fatal Frame. They did it on the PS2. In fact, when I used Siri to say stomach, it picked up Siri's stomach easily. It picked it up and did it straight away. I had to use Siri to tell them to shoot the stomach. Fatal Frame. I loved it. I loved it. I really, really liked Fatal Frame. I got frustrated at some parts. I got scared at a lot of parts. I jumped so much in that game, and not just from your guys' jump scares, but just in general. That game had such great atmosphere. The story was really good. It was very of its era, right? So it's not like well written and everything, but it was written well enough that you could understand and follow through who was what was going on here, who was doing what in there. And I just really liked the mystery of it and figuring it out. It was good. So I'm giving it an S. Yeah, that's fair. Everdeen. Everdeen was really quite good. I need to shuffle this around. I kind of like... no, I mean... Okay, we'll put Everdeen there. I mean, that's fair. You're not wrong. It must be surprising that they managed to get it just that good as it was. Everdeen, you play as a little girl who ends up in a world, in a fairy realm. And there's lots of monsters and stuff that are coming after you, and a werewolf is trying to chase you down. And you meet, like, it was sort of like, it definitely wore its inspiration from, what's it called? Undertale on its sleeve, but set in a more fantasy sort of world. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Symbiosis. That one, I can't quite remember. Yeah, Everdeen was RPG Maker. It was pretty good. They did a good job on it. Symbiosis. Which one was that one? Give me 1 sec to Google that. I'm pretty sure. I'll remember it as soon as I see another screenshot. Oh, this was the mother who was killing people for her child. It's another RPG Maker one. So I remember it didn't really leave a lot with me. I'm sorry, Fear and Hugger. You just keep falling down. Actually, I like Blackout more than Symbiosis. Symbiosis was the mother who was a doctor scientist / person who was creating homunculi. And she created a kid. And then her old research team came and they got murdered. Yeah, that was it. Okay, Sophia. Sophia was good. I liked Sophia. Or was it Sophie? Sophia? That was the one with the... You kept going on the date over and over again, and the house just kept getting worse and worse every time you went. And then you found out that your boyfriend or girlfriend was dead. And you kept trying to save her, but you couldn't. That one was pretty good. I really liked it. And then at the end there was the Sea of Bodies. Yeah, that was that one. That was a good one. Sheepy. Sheepy was an S? It was an S tier. It was just so good. Sheepy was so cute. You played a sheep who was an alien sheep, and you had to go through an underworld and just beat up bad guys and find your way through. And it was a platformer, and it was really pretty. And sure, the story was, you know what? The story was a bit light, but it was good. Okay, I'm doing something controversial again. Mm. Ooh. Well, that's hard. Yeah, that feels good. Okay. Sheepy was really, really cute. Blood Orange. That's the one where you go underwater and you had to deal with... You got tapes that you'd listen to every time you saved, and you had to try and find your wife, and you found your wife. It was a weird one. My bias is showing. I really didn't like Fear and Hunger. I'm sorry! Maybe the sequel's better. I didn't hate it. It was also RPG Maker. It was pretty it was pretty good. It was pretty good. For what it was. For what it was. Oh my god. The next one. Yeah, Echo. It was just a visual novel. It was literally just a visual novel with furries. And I'm not against furries, but it wasn't something I could really get into. We gave it an hour. It didn't feel like an hour, but it was an hour. Basically, you turn up to a town and you start talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. Yeah. Alright, we've got 4 left. Well, I'm leaving the boogeyman till last. Alright, this was Ozzy's game. Ozzy's game. Literally unplayable. No, okay. It was probably better than Curse. I mean, it started, but only because it was a visual novel. Ozzy's game, you ran around, you were a little girl, your mum went missing, you learnt a bit about your dad going off to war, and then there were wolves that murdered you. It was a demo. Even the demo's better. Jesus. Personal bias in this one too. Okay, Demon's Crest. Okay, don't hate me, but I didn't really like it. Did I like... I don't know. You know what? Controversial. Yeah. Yeah, that feels good. You know what? No. Oh, God, these are equal. These are equally equal. These are equal. I didn't like them, but I didn't hate them. Yeah, I just wasn't very good at Demon's Crest, and me being sort of good or capable of passing things helps a lot with my enjoyment of them. I mean, I like Castlevania a lot, because I got further into it. Demon's Crest, it felt like I was struggling with myself to play it. It probably didn't help that I didn't have a controller to play it with at the time. I might have done a little bit better with an actual controller. Maybe. Ginger. Ginger is a classic Christmas story. It is, I got past the first boss really easily for Demon Crest. Possibly. I like Ginger. It's a good horror. It's actually scarier than Slender Man. I'm trying to figure out where I rate it. You know what? There. Yeah, I mean, it is an old game, so... But then, Castlevania's older than it, I think. There's no excuse. And last but not... like Ginger, you just walk around, find pages. It's basically Slender Man, but Christmas themed. But I like it more. It has a bit more personality to it. Also, seeing the red fucking lights coming is terrifying. Seeing the red lights coming is fucking terrifying. Slender Man, you can see a bit of glitch on your screen. You're like, oh, I'll just walk the other direction. Ginger, you have to actively hide. That shit's scarier. The Boogeyman. Is it though? I mean, who's gonna feel bad? Sorry, Slender. I liked it more. Remember, there's a bit of bias thrown in this judgment. It's, okay, the maps aren't great, but I liked it more. I know, right? Sometimes you just make a good game, a decent, an okay game, a game that, I keep downgrading it. Decent, okay, alright game. Sometimes you just make a short game and it's okay. And sometimes it's okayer than other games that were made with a lot more care. Ah, okay, fine. I gotta give Mistrick a little bit more. Because it... No, I don't. I don't. It's my list. I'm allowed to rank them how I like. I could put Ginger up the top. Fuck y'all. Yeah. At least you can find Santa Claus at the end. Mother Christmas. Mrs. Claus, that's the name. And then rip your face off. That's great. The Boogeyman. Ah, I really like The Boogeyman. It is an RPG Maker game. I mean, true. It is an RPG Maker game that had a good story, and there's a lot of interactions. Like, I grew to like the character. When I started, I didn't like most of the characters. I grew to actually like them. I could feel myself growing to like them. And that's saying something for an RPG Maker game. Like, I'm not going to say RPG Maker games are bad. There's a lot of great RPG Maker games out there. For an RPG Maker horror game, that's really interesting. Because they tend to be very shallow. But this one wasn't. This one was... It was pretty good. And I was having fun playing it. The voice acting, okay, the voice acting wasn't great. Let's just say that. Let's say that. The voice acting, not great. Some of them were okay. Some of them were okay. The rest of them were not okay. Playing it without the voice acting is... It's fine. It's good. I'm actually... No, Bad Parenting made me cry. Boogeyman didn't. Actually, you know what? Ooh, I might need to move some things around. No, I think I'm fine with that row. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. They're all fine. I actually did like the curse better than Echo. The only reason this one isn't... Lifeline isn't higher is because I couldn't actually play it. I liked the Boogeyman. Yeah, but I really liked the story, and the characters really grew on me, weirdly. And the fact that you could have some characters die or save them really helped a lot. Because you started actively caring whether they died or not in order to get a good ending. And then you got suckered in by who the Boogeyman was, because I assumed it was one of the people. I assumed it was one of the people. I still assume it's one of the people. I reckon it's one of them. I think it's a whodunit. I know you didn't, but I did. So I'm fine. Bad Parenting made me cry. Everdeen... You know what? Yeah, that feels fine. I didn't finish it because it didn't get voted to finish, but I am intending to finish it on my own at some point. I might do another stream to finish it after I've done all the streams that I already owe. Because I know some other peeps were wanting to see what happened. It kind of hooked. Okay. So the top is definitely these three. I really like Fatal Frame. I will. I do want to give it an A. I mean, I do want to give it an ending. I fully intend to. It's on my list. Alright. So, our S ranks. Absolutely. If One Winter's Night for Travelers. If you haven't played that game, go play it. It's so good. It's free to play. It's on Steam and itch.io. And it's so good. It's so good. Fatal Frame, I so enjoyed so much. It had a lot of issues. I hate the camera angles. I got frustrated at times, but I still overall enjoyed it a lot. Like, I can look past it. I'm looking forward next year to playing another Fatal Frame game. That's how much I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to trying the rest of the series. Yeah. Sheepy was so good. It was so pretty. It was a lot of fun. It was a short little game. And it just left me with a good feeling. It just left me feeling good. Was it scary? No, not really. Was it a bit creepy at points? Yeah. So those three are my S ranks. Wedding in Red somehow made it up to almost an S rank. How did that happen? It just slowly made its way up. The more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what? That really was a good game. It's just shy of an S rank for me, but it was a really good, very short game. And I just really liked it. It was just a complete pack. You know, it was just really good. And if you wanted to get the good ending, you didn't have to jump through hoops to do it. All you had to do was reload and try something different. Yeah, I can understand that. I don't know. I liked it. I liked the story. I liked the mystery. I didn't hate the combat once I really figured it out. I mean, you're allowed to have that opinion. I liked it overall. And it gives me hope for the rest of the series that it gets better. I'm hoping. I'm crossing my fingers. Maybe I don't like that. Yeah, that feels better. Parasite Eve, I am enjoying. It is a bit frustrating where I'm at currently. I like it, but there's some things about it I don't like. And it's hard to put a finger on. But overall, I'm enjoying it a lot more than I'm not. So there's that. Sophia was pretty good. It was just a self-contained little game that was enjoyable, and the complete story, it made you wonder what was going on, so you wanted to complete it, and then it had a hell of a twist ending. Clones. Clock Tower 3. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the battle system. What there was of a battle system. I got scared a lot. Lifeline was fun, but it was frustrating. Kuon. Kuon was pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, really, you know what? Maybe. Oh, you know what? We'll leave it there. Yeah, sure. Sweet Home, I was enjoying a lot. You know what? No. I'm a little, it's fine. Kuon was fun. A little frustrating at points, but I'm forgiving towards older games. I'm a little forgiving towards older games. I've come to realize this. I'm capable of looking outside and saying, okay, it's an older game. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt in some areas. Unless it's unplayable, in which case, fuck off. Sweet Home, I really enjoyed so far. It's very retro. It's kind of fun once you figure out what to do. Bad Parenting storyline made me cry. When something touches your feelings like that, you kind of got to give it high. And it was short and sweet and self-contained. It really was. It's just a short 10-20 minute game. Boogeyman, I really liked the storyline. The characters grew on me, which was really interesting to see in a RPG Maker horror game. It's a good sync for a couple of hours, and the ability to have them die or live depending on your choices really makes, I wouldn't replay it, but it really makes the ante go up a bit. Everdeen was just a cute, sweet game. Very well graphics. The graphics really well done. There was nothing really obnoxious about it. And it was easy enough to get through, but challenging in some areas. Kuon, I liked Kuon a lot, but I haven't played enough of it to know if I'd like how it turned out. And I played the one, because there's two characters. I played one character first and just died really quickly, because I didn't understand how to fight the enemies, and I ran into an enemy straight away. So I swapped to the other character who had a bit more of a lead-in. A slower lead-in and a slower build-up, and I like the battle system in Fatal Frame a little bit more than Kuon. Just a little bit more, because Kuon, it was hard to sort of target enemies with your spells. But I really like the whole... They are basically running around a manor, looking through haunted/demons, and dealing with the shit left behind. I played a fair bit of Kuon, actually. I wouldn't mind going and playing more of it. It was pretty good. Castlevania, I enjoyed. I don't know, it's old, it's a bit dated, but, you know. Fuck, I'm about to do this. I actually kind of really enjoyed. It got a little frustrating at points, but you know what? It's Castlevania. There's a reason it's had such a lasting impact on gaming. It was good. Blackout was cute. It was sweet. It had a little twist at the end. I liked it. I'm sorry, Everdeen. Symbiosis. Symbiosis was... It was okay. It was alright. It was a mother looking for her, looking out for her son. It was more... It had a lot less engagement than other games. Blood Orange, really good storyline. Very creepy, actually. Very creepy. You know what? Yeah, that feels good. Blood Orange was super creepy because you were underwater. There was a time limit for your breathing underwater. And those dolphins were fucking creepy. Fear and Hunger, yeah. I just, yeah. Haunting Grounds, I would have liked to have seen more of it. I feel like it was one of... It felt like I didn't get too far into it, even though I played it for like an hour or two. It felt like it had slow pacing. Apparently you get a dog in it. I saw the dog right at the start, and that's all I saw of the dog. So, I don't know. It just felt like running around a castle trying to figure out where to go next, without any direction. Although I will say that the pregnant carving statue was definitely a plus. Weirdly, definitely a weird plus. Also, the guy watching you change behind the portrait. That was creepy. That guy's creepy. Fuck that guy. Glass Rose, I liked. I can understand why others wouldn't. But I like a really good mystery with a lot of... I like a good whodunit. And that was definitely a whodunit. You go back in time and you try and figure out who murdered this family, or this family. And you have to talk to the people, and you only have a certain amount of time to do it in. Ginger's fun. It's just Slender Man with Christmas colours. And a more apparent baddie. Miss Trick, it was good. It was just good. Slender Man, it's a classic for a reason. Blood and Concrete, that was alright. Demon Crest, yeah, actually, yeah. I wasn't good at it. Silent Hill, it was Silent Hill Origins. I don't know what to say. You went into a hospital, you dealt with some nurses, you go out to the street and there's zombies on the street. I didn't really... It didn't jive with me. Maybe I should have played a different Silent Hill first. Miss Fiction, it was alright. Ozzy's Game was a demo. Curse of the Eye of Iris, yeah. I should have added a D rank. Unplayable, yeah. It wasn't unplayable, it was just real... You know what? Fuck it. It was unplayable. It was unplayable. It didn't teach you how to play. And you know what? I'm putting this down here and unplayable too. Yeah, fuck me. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. You can't stop me. Ain't nobody can stop me. Lifeline, I really liked. I just wish it did better with the commands. I just wish it did. Because the story and gameplay itself is really interesting. You go from room to room in this place, and you have to unlock the doors, collect items, try and figure out, you know, fight these monsters and try and figure out where to go and what to do, and try and find your wife as well as this girl's comrade and stuff. And it was really interesting, the idea of being able to direct someone with your voice. It's just very frustrating and unplayable. Echoes... Yeah, I don't like visual novels that are just visual novels. I have to have some gameplay with my visual novels. I gotta be able to walk around. At least have some fucking choices that matter. Valhalla I can deal with, right? You know Valhalla? Valhalla is that drinking game where you mix cocktails and stuff for people. The coffee talk, that you at least make coffees, even though they're, you know, even though they're fucking visual novels and you talk to and gab to people, you still do stuff. If there's doing stuff, I can handle a visual novel. But if it's just straight visual novel and you don't see any payoff for any choices you make, then it's just like, I'll just read the fucking book. Curse was barely playable. They should have given us some fucking direction on how to do stuff. It just never explained anything. I'm sure it came with a manual. It's a PS2 game, I think. PS1, PS2 game. Sure, they came with manuals, but they should still teach you in the game how to fucking play. Like, moving around and that, okay, easy. But also, the UI was terrible. The UI was not great. It looked great. It looked good. But having to scroll through things in order to get to things that you need to do things with, and then scroll around, it just wasn't, it was terrible. I'm sorry, it just was. Galarians. The sad thing about Galarians is if you gave it a normal movement thing, like just normal movement around, not tank controls, it would have been okay. And some more explanations. You know, hold my hand a little, please. Especially if you're introducing whole new concepts that haven't been done in games before. If you're introducing something that hasn't been done in other games before, at least teach your players how to play them. For fuck's sake. I'm just saying. Hear me out. And it's a PS2 game. It should know better. Resident Evil 4 made me physically ill. And it's not the game's fault. It's partly the game's... It's the game's fault. The camera angle, the cameras. Why? Why? Oh, why? Oh, why would you have you turning around also change the camera, but you can control the camera. But when you turn around, it spins at a faster speed than you spinning the normal camera. That's just asking for motion sickness from people. I don't know, a lot of people played this game and didn't get motion sick. But Jesus Christ, what were they thinking? Why not just lock the camera above and have it so that it turns when you turn? And just have that like that. Or, don't turn the camera when you turn around and just use your fucking fingers to turn it around. There's two games that have made me motion sick. This game, because of the cameras, and I went and threw up. It was not good. And Kingdom Hearts. And Kingdom Hearts is specifically because the camera moves so fast and the colors were so bright that I got dizzy. It was specifically in the Tarzan area. I played it up to the Tarzan area and then I just got super dizzy and I couldn't play it anymore. Something about the bright colors, like how bright they were, and me spinning the camera in order to move around, just made me extremely dizzy. I've never been dizzy in a game ever since. It was only that. Those two are the only games that have made me super dizzy or sick. It's really strange. I just queued it up as something weird to do with Kingdom Hearts. I've watched other people play Kingdom Hearts without problem. But playing it myself, I just couldn't. And the sad thing is, I got it for my birthday, and I got to Tarzan's level, and I never picked it back up. I got one day of play, and then I just never picked it back up, and that killed my enthusiasm for the whole series. Which is sad, because it sounds like something I'd actually like. But I have seen other people play it, and I've watched playthroughs all the way through to all the games so far. So I know enough of the lore to talk with people about it. I never got to play it myself. And I'm fine with that. Because it literally made me ill.